Hey everybody, today I'm going to teach you how to make your drums punch through the mix. And so to get started, what I've done is just drag in a loop from my loop kit. This hollow loop right here, I'm going to go ahead and let you hear how that sounds. Alright, and so with these loops, I went ahead and made MIDIs of them. So I went ahead and dragged in this hollow MIDI into a sampler channel. And one of the things I hear in beats from people who have just started, and this isn't a terrible thing, I used to do this too when I first started making beats, is that the 808 is typically off key and it doesn't sound right. So an important note is to make sure that your 808 is following the bass notes of the melody. So if I go to this MIDI, the bass notes of the melody go E, C sharp, B, C sharp, and then back again, E, C sharp, B, C sharp. So what I did with the 808 was just that. I made it go E, C sharp, B, C sharp, E, C sharp, B, C sharp. Alright, so after that, to make your drums punch through the mix, an important thing to do is to cut out the low end in the melody so that it doesn't clash with the 808. So I'm going to go ahead and do that by adding a Fruity Parametric EQ2 equalizer. And I'm going to go ahead and play this loop and cut out any undesirable frequencies as I hear them. Alright, so I basically just cut out some low and then took out just a tiny bit of the high. That'll help make sure that the 808 doesn't clash with any of the low end inside the melody. So to start mixing, before I even change any of the volumes on these faders inside the mixer, what I'm going to go ahead and do is go to the piano roll for my kick and go ahead and highlight all of these kicks by holding down the control button, click, and drag the mouse. Hold down Alt on your keyboard and scroll up on the mouse wheel. That turns up all the velocities, and that just helps the kick punch through a little bit harder. I'm going to go ahead and do that with the 808 as well, and the snare. Alright, now we can get to mixing. What I like to do when I mix is first start off with the kick and get the kick to rest just like right around -6 decibels right here. Alright, so once you have your kick resting right around there, you can go and start adding your other drums, leveling them to the proper levels based on the kick. Alright, so when you're mixing your 808 with the kick, you want to make sure that your kick is punching through your 808 just slightly to get that punch, you know? And now I'm going to go ahead and add the snare. Alright, so you want the volume of your snare to be pretty high too, based on the other drums as well. If you listen to any modern day trap song, you can definitely hear the snare cutting through the mix quite well alongside the kick. And that's just because the snare is like it's the tension release. So with trap, your goal is to build up tension into the snare, and the snare is like a release of tension, so you want to make sure that people hear that snare. And now I'm going to go ahead and level the hi-hat with the other drums. And when you're leveling the hi-hat, it's kind of one of those stylistic things. everybody likes the volume of their hi-hat just a little bit differently. One general rule of thumb is to make sure that the volume of your hi-hat is loud enough so that you can picture an artist rapping or singing on your track and you can still hear the hi-hat through their vocals. So now that I've leveled all my drums, I'm going to go ahead and level the melody that I have going. And what I like to do to level the melody, make sure that it's at a proper level for my drums, is to solo the 808 inside the mixer and go ahead and turn on the melody as well, and level the melody based on the level of the 808. It kind of gives it a nice basis of what it should sound like and the level that it should be at. So I'm going to go ahead and start leveling this right now. Just a general rule of thumb, if you level your kick to -6 dB and all your other drums accordingly, when you level your melody, it should rest between -24 and -21 dB as it does here. So another thing that you can do to make your drums hit pretty hard is to go to your master track, and in the first slot, go ahead and place the fruity limiter and turn the attack, release, and sustain knobs all the way down. And go ahead and play the beat and turn the ceiling knob down just to squash the kicks a little bit, and it'll definitely make them punch harder. I'll show you a before and after. I don't know if you could hear that or not, but the kicks are definitely hitting a lot harder now. And it's important that you put the fruity limiter in the first slot or a slot above your maximizer. In this case, I'm going to be using Isotope Ozone 5. And by no means do you have to use this plugin. FL actually has a native plugin called Fruity Multiband Compressor, and that's a maximizer itself. What you want to do is go to this presets arrow and right click it and go to mastering 2.4 dB. And the only knob that you're going to be messing with is this gain knob right here. So you go ahead and play the beat and turn this gain knob up until the master is just right below 0 dB. Alright, but like I said before, I'm going to be using Isotope Ozone 5 as a maximizer for this tutorial. So I'm going to go back into that and change this character, turn it down, and go ahead and lower the threshold to raise the maximum volume of the master. Alright, and as you can hear, the kicks and 808, all the drums are hitting harder than they were originally. I'm going to go ahead and let you hear it without any of the effects and then turn the effects back on. So yeah, that's about it. If you go ahead and utilize the tools shown in this video, you're sure to get drums that punch through hard. And of course, when creating beats, it's important to have good drum samples right off the rip. That'll make sure that your drums hit hard, because you can sit there and EQ drums for hours and not get the sound that you're looking for, when you could just go out and find a kit that has quality sounding drums inside of it and start making beats with those and have higher quality sounding beats. Yeah, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and also share around. Stay tuned for my next video, and as always, have a great day.